Hello, birthday! Woo! Uh, can you listen to me fine? Hi. Hi. Oh, it's really early today, isn't it? So, it was my birthday, and it was fine. I had a lot of fun. I did a lot of birthday things, and then I got paid. I'm quiet. Okay, let me see what I can do about that. Oh, maybe I'm very far from the microphone. Oh, oh. Hey, is this better? Hi. Hi. I've been, well, doing a lot of birthday stuff. It's been alright. Um, I think for the most part, I spent the day, what did I do? Happy birthday to the birthday girl, thank you, yay! I was doing a lot of birthday things, but I also have a lot of work, so I couldn't do like whole birthday day, you know? Uh, and then yesterday I met up with a friend, and he's alright, he's like a friend I've known for a very long time. But he's going through like a weird stage in his development, I think, and yeah, I wasn't super happy with some of the things he said and some of the problems he brought me, and yeah. Could I turn up the volume more? Like, you want more? Hello. I don't know. Um, Hi, I'm getting like yellow reception now. I think this is like probably some of the highest volume I can have. Are you sure you're not turning down your own volume, by the way? Ah, well, it's been a nice day. But yeah, yesterday I had this very awkward experience with this guy. I am kinda just not super happy with how the day went. Um, Yeah, I could tell you guys about it, but in general, I think the leftover experience I got is that people change a lot, you know, and it's fine. Um, Over time, people become like very different versions of themselves, and the things that made your friendship work, perhaps, change as you change, and that's okay. I think the problem is like getting to a point where both people kind of accept that, and yeah, difficult difficult things. Bow 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 bow. Yeah. I'm not sure. Hmm. I wouldn't say my friend is like too different now, but he's definitely different enough that um it informed our interaction in a way that I wasn't really happy. I'm noticing that most every time that I go visit him, I'm either fighting with him or fighting with his parents. So, you know, that's not kind of what I want for me. That's not kind of what I want for my life. And yeah, I don't know. I think for him it's normal. Or maybe he misses like a version of or a friendship where that used to be the case, where that used to be normal. But honest to God, I I don't feel comfortable anymore with that kind of dynamic. I'm going to tell him that either something needs to change or we need to like take it down a notch. And it was particular that we met because I'm always there for his birthday, and he's always tried to be there for my birthday, like ever since we were like in elementary school, right? But yeah, I don't know. For those of you who are in my Discord server and know the contents that I do on my main channel, you will know that, especially on the Discord, I have like I have been defamed as like a Western pessimist of sorts. Like you have no idea about this guy. Like you have no idea. I and you know I don't like pessimistic people. I wouldn't say that I'm a pessimistic person myself, but you know when someone has like a lot of opinions on something, and you can tell that the opinions are just kind of like masked cynicism. It's kind of like that. And I'm not happy about it, but you know, um, yeah, that kind of thing. Anyway, that's what I wanted to get off my chest. I wanted to mainly have my feelings recorded somewhere so that, you know, time down the line I knew. I could identify this because if like years later I'm still wondering and then I watch one of my streams and I find out like, oh, okay, so this has been happening for years now. Like maybe, yeah, it will help me respect my own boundaries, I guess. So yeah, sorry for making you a witness to my personal drama, but I'm a streamer, so that's what you come here for, right? Making entertainment out of my life. You guys are so mean. It's your fault. As Nico Kado used to say. Have you guys seen the Nico Kado transformation, by the way? Let me just switch. Ah, 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 ah. Switching to the screen sharing. I'm gonna get my keys. Okay, let me just switch over to the game. Bow, 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 bow. Wait, oh, no, I'm gonna have to do a lot of things actually. Oh god, no. Okay, give me a second. This requires a lot more intervention than I thought it would. I have to set up the other screen basically, but it's going to be like quite a high effort stuff. Give me a second. Okay, I found an imperfect solution to my problem. Let's hope it continues. Yay! Okay. Wait! What? Okay, there we go. Dun, 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 yeah, it's annoying to be around, yes. It's sad when we outgrow our friendships. I tried maintaining one like that, but I should have just moved on. Yeah, yeah. You know, it's just normal, I guess. People change a lot as they age. Uh, they become like more honest versions of themselves, you know? Not that that's like a bad thing or something that we shouldn't want to happen, but um I don't really think people change all that much. I think people have values and priorities, and they find like increasingly better ways to live out those values and priorities, you know? And the thing is that it's quite normal that in different stages of like life, you will encounter someone who lives out their values in ways that are maybe very similar to yours. But then, as time goes on, you start to realize that, you know, maybe they find better ways to be themselves and you find better ways to be yourself. And that just kind of changes things, you know, for everyone involved. Uh, what is this? So, yeah, the best relationships are those where you can, like, grow peacefully with someone. But it's often not possible with people um, who are just kind of um, either too stuck in their ways or have values that are too different. Like cracks will eventually show in whatever that is. And here's the thing, right? What upsets me a lot about this particular person is that ah ah bird. Mm, okay, I won't give myself too many roses here, but in in some way, I work in. Oh my god, that thing has poison in it. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, not to credit myself too much, but I basically work in ah wrong button. I work in the business of like political communication and ideas, right? Uh, so I'm informed about certain issues in a way that a lot of people wouldn't be, and not because there's like anything special about me, right? But because I get paid for it. If I got paid to do literally anything else, I would probably be like um how would I say this? Like about as informed, right? I would have like a very different set of skills, a very different set of like knowledge, things like that. Um, so let's just say, in short, that I am confronted with like very sad, very shocking, very, you know, upsetting information in like a relatively frequent basis. And even then, I am not as pessimistic as some people I know that try to be like actively pessimistic, you know? And I mean, that's just kind of sad. Like, it's such a sad way to live your life, I think, you know? Thinking that nothing can change, that everyone is out there for themselves, that the best thing you can do in the world is just be, you know, not be a sucker. That's so bad. Why would you want to live like that? Uh, it's a thing I know some of my. I have friends that speak Hebrew, and they tell me there's like like a concept for it in Yiddish. Actually, it has its origins in German, and I think it's like called Freier. Freier. It's not Freier like a priest, like a friar. It's more like, I think the etymology of the word is someone who is seen flirting with a woman, right? So if you're seen flirting with a woman, in in German, I think there's a word for it that kind of sounds like Freier, and it has a meaning in German, but it also has a meaning in Yiddish, and in Yiddish it kind of means sucker. You know, it's someone who gets put in a position where they ah oh, there's so many of them right now. Let me. Okay, that's better. Yeah, it's someone who, I guess the subtext is that when men flirt with women, they can often be like very silly, or ah, oh no, I got gotten. Yeah, they can either be very silly, or they can say things that they don't believe in, or they can come across as like people trying to play each other. Yeah, people trying to, like they're clearly trying to sell someone on something, but they're not good at it. And yeah, that. Uh, oh, hey, we got that word in Polish, Freier. Oh, okay, and it's of Yiddish origin too. Yeah, 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 yeah. I think the Yiddish word comes from like the German origin, and yeah, it's like, um, ah, yeah, in Yiddish, it means something different than the man flirting with a woman. I think it means something closer to like the interpreted meaning of like, you are looking silly by doing something that we clearly believe you are attempting but not succeeding at. And the way people use Freier is typically to mean someone who is what would we call it? Yes, like a sucker, a loser, someone whose confidence, whose goodwill is often abused, or whose, what would we say? Mm, yeah, sucker, loser, your goodwill is often abused, or you could have like forms of success that you're not having because you have like ideas that keep you from taking advantage of most situations, right? Um, and that's kind of how I perceive this particular family, right? They like some people in ah ah yeah, they just really hard don't want to be friars. They don't want to be people that are seen as people that can be taken advantage of. And the way that you do that, the way that you avoid the question is by being instead someone who takes advantage of situations, right? Being the complete opposite. And yeah, you know, that kind of person is like a type of person that exists, I guess. Um, I understand that they might come often from situations where they're taken advantage of to begin with, and then the reaction is becoming like, oh, okay, this is never going to happen to me again. You know, a lot of people are motivated by that kind of idea. This is never going to happen to me again. But I don't know. I think that if your solution to cruelty is like becoming cruel yourself, like recognizing that maybe the world is like a bad game and you can only win by becoming like the baddest player. Um, that's that's like mean. I don't think that's like a like a way to carry yourself around. Yeah. What worries me the most is that they're leftists too. So, they're the kind of leftists that will like very angrily tell people what their values are. what the right way to be is, that kind of thing. But they were very upset at the fact that I was vegetarian and couldn't eat certain things. They were like actually upset. That's so mad. And yeah, it's been on my mind for like hours. I don't mean to um, make this the point of what I'm talking about right now, but I guess it's like it's been brewing in my mind as much as um, yeah, I don't know. It's been brewing in my mind. I'm making sense of it as I'm talking to you. Like I didn't connect like the Hebrew word until I like actually thought about it right here, right now. I decided before that I can be happier by allowing myself to be naive at times. Yeah, I wouldn't even say it's being naive. It's like it's human to trust, right? It's human to want to live in communities and to want to have healthy relationships and things like that. And hit them where, oh, okay. And like, why would you want to live a life where you presuppose that's like impossible? Like either it's not possible for you, or it's not possible in general. And you know I guess the really condescending thing is that if you have friends that are like that, and you're not like that, they will condescend you. And that's kind of what I didn't like about what happened yesterday. I felt very condescended to. Um, yeah, by people I know who know less about things I know about. And yeah, sad. Very sad. But it's okay. The interaction's over. I'm here doing something else right now, but damn. I'm that kind of person, sadly. I think I have a tendency to go into like conflict management whenever I'm in like a certain kind of interaction, I guess. Ah, and then I only ever like give things a colder look or a more assertive look once I'm out of the conflict management situation. Like conflict management, the way I see it is like a set of skills, and then conflict resolution is another. So yeah, it's waiting, being tactical about how you respond to people and things like that. I don't know if it's healthy, right? I think there's value in being like an assertive person, and I could afford to be a lot more assertive in things like situations like these, I guess. But yeah. Oh, there are so many of these. No, 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 no. Ooh. Wow. Wow. Oh. Okay. Oh. Ah! This is so bad. Oh no. How does one leave? Ah! Okay, wait. I think I get it. I think I get it. Ah. Oh my goodness. This is not easy. You appear to be pretty assertive. Yeah. Maybe. I think it's just in certain situations where, like losing lifelong friendships over what fundamentally was a disagreement over vegetarianism that they were uh, inviting, you know. I was not trying to like pitch the lifestyle to anyone. They started. I just said I couldn't eat sausages. um, yeah, in certain situations I do tend to go into conflict management because I see that it's probably not a fight worth having. And there are people who aren't like that. I know people who are like, every fight is a fight worth having, and yeah, that's something I wish I could incorporate because I think I risk falling into passivity sometimes. Even though I am an assertive person, I think I try to be very tactical. I guess it's because my dad had like a very how would I say this? A very steadfast admiration of Obama. Like, it's not that he admired Obama because he like knew Obama like intimately, or he agreed with his politics a lot, right? It's more that he was familiar with like Obama's conflict management, and one time he told me like, yeah, that's kind of like what we should aspire to be, like cool-headed. If we want to enact consequences, we should wait to the point where we can like enact them in a way that's conductive to whatever we want. And yeah, he had this like weird admiration of Obama for being like uh, someone he perceived as like a waiter, uh, someone who waits for like the right opportunity to enact measures, maybe ideas, maybe. I don't think I share that perception, but I think of Obama, right? But I guess a part of me does resound with that being like a good trait. Uh, yeah, being like a tactical conflict manager. Is your dad more Obama cube or Obama pyramid? Definitely more cube. Yeah, he's a cube. He does have the cube energy. Yeah. Well, Prism. Yeah. I wonder what my dad would think of like streaming. He's definitely like a person of his time when it comes to like forms of entertainment. Um, I guess I could tell him like, oh, imagine it's like radio, right? But it's radio with video. You're watching like a form of live entertainment. And do you remember how in radio you can like call in? Um, yeah, you can like call in and have like interactions with whoever's hosting. Well, imagine that, but instead of like what would I even say? Yeah, instead of like calling in, there's a chat like in a Zoom class, because he's like a university professor. I think he would like understand that. Yeah, imagine a Zoom class, and then you're basically interacting with a radio host. Does he know about Skibidi Toilet? No, no, he doesn't. That's kind of very past his time, because um, what happened with him is that, well, my youngest brother is like 18 now, right? Uh, so we very much missed out on like the Skibidi Toilet thing. He does know what My Little Pony is, because I was a brony for like back when I was like super active. I was like openly brony in the way some people are like openly gay, right? I was like loud and proud brony. So he does know about that kind of thing. But since my brother turned like 18, he's just kind of been focused on other things. He's had, as an 18-year-old, more partners than I have. And yeah, he's just like super active in a kind of life that resembles less the kind of life that my parents would have had. So this puts him in the situation where the kids, the people who know kid stuff, the people who know like internet stuff, are now it's now mostly me, because I work on the internet. So my dad wouldn't know like any more internet slang. It's kind of missed. It's gone missing on him. Yeah. Wah! Oh my god! I would have. That was, I was playing with fire there. Yeah. Bad idea. Bad idea. Hmm. Yeah, so that's my dad. He's a good person, I think. He's very well intentioned. uh, I guess the main thing that would be like a source of friction between him and most people is that he does have a tendency to like get to a point in his temperament where he goes past the conflict management thing, I guess. You know, so he's very much the kind of man that tries to do like everything that is asked of him, and if for some reason he reaches a point where performing his duty, you know, in like the philosophical sense of duty, right? If performing his duty doesn't get him like boons anymore, or he feels like people are like not being receptive to how he wants to be seen and things like that, he can get very, losing control, right? It's very much the kind of man that you like interact with, and he's like, I am in my best disposition when I can expect people to behave a certain way. But if for some reason people are not being like well behaved, oh, okay, I didn't know I didn't have immunity when I was climbing upstairs. Yeah, if he can't expect like a type of behavior from people, he does get like quite less polite. But his default personality is like very polite. Yeah. Ah, no. Yeah. And I do think that influenced me, right? I do think that I learned to have very similar conflict resolution approaches. And honestly, if you asked me, I wouldn't say I'm very happy with that. Because I think, uh, hmm, hmm, hmm. I would say that I would much rather be the kind of person that in high stress situations doesn't concede in order to like pacify, you know? What? Did I do all that for this? Okay, dungeon's over. Oh. Yeah, I should introduce him to Skibidi Toilet maybe. I think he would find it funny because when he was younger he did enjoy a lot of the action movies that were made in like the 80s and 90s. And for him, like, I would basically pitch Skibidi Toilet as, okay, imagine like an abstraction of an action movie. And then you take that abstraction and then you give it characters that don't fit the 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 story, you know, they're just like templates. And yeah, you have like the skeleton of an action movie with pieces that are not like conforming to what you'd expect of an action movie. Yeah, that's how I would pitch Skibidi Toilet to like anyone really. And I say this as someone who's seen at least like the first 80 episodes of Skibidi Toilet. I have watched it, you know. I do. I have watched the Skibidi Toilet. Uh, it's very fun. But I think the fun I find in it is not the fun that like kids find in it. Oh my god, what's happening here? Uh they're fighting each other. Should I just wait? Um okay. Um oh, he did look very angry. it's a fight between knights and whatever these like ogres are. Yes, you're a fine intellectual. I've just watched movies before. When I think of Skibidi Toilet, it jumps. Go down, go back down. Don't jump. Ah. Okay. Did I get them? Okay. I didn't deserve that victory. That was completely cheesed. Yeah, no. See, the thing is that I learned to watch movies, bad movies a certain way. When I watch a bad movie or like a piece of media that's like deliberately, made to invoke disgust in someone, I stop watching the movie on its terms and I start thinking of the author, right? I start thinking like, what were they actually trying to communicate? Because maybe they didn't succeed and that kind of thing, but I can learn a lot about the author by learning about what the author is like, um, yeah, like trying to say. So even if they are not like uh, communicating well, I know they're making an effort to communicate well, right? And if you watch a movie like The Room that way, you can see that it's like a guy who thinks he was perfect, and then yeah, his girlfriend just left him, and he doesn't understand why that happened, and he portrays that lack of understanding as like a malicious woman, right? Yeah, malicious woman just out there to hurt him, and that's like such a more complicated movie that if you just watched it at first face value and said like, "Whoa, this is just an awkward piece of cinema." Yeah. So yeah, that's just kind of like a thing I do, I guess. It's also made me more appreciative of like uh the way that kids have of making drawings, because kids don't have like the technical skill to create like insane pieces of art, but they do have a lot of intentions. And if you try to observe art for its intentions, sometimes in the lack of maybe the technical capabilities to communicate those intentions, you can't get like uh, quite a lot of value from that. And has to think for a necessary sex. Yeah. Yeah, the room opens with a sex scene. That's like crazy to me. I didn't like it. I didn't like the sex scene. Like it was so early too. So there's like no reward for it besides like the pornographic aspect, because it's super early. It's super early in the movie. You don't know the characters, so it does not establish any tension. It does not put like any any added treasure to what's going on. You just ah. Okay, yeah, you just start shove the sexy in your face. Malicious Woman gonna be Ariana Grande's new album. Really? Are you joking, or is that her actual album? I admire that about Ariana, but I am not malicious. Even if I tried, I don't think I could like have that kind of aesthetic. I'm kind-hearted, even to people who don't deserve it, and even to my own to my own detriment, honestly. Bow. Yeah, like if I was like Ariana Grande, I wouldn't be having the troubles I have right now with like this friend that made me feel like shit. Ah! Ah! No! No! Because dangerous woman, Okay, yeah. Yeah, she has to run through all the villain tropes, malicious woman, evil woman. What else? Excessively bureaucratic woman in a position of power. That's like my worst enemy, to be honest. Yeah, social worker. I've never had more frustration with a human being uh, than a social worker that was like just kind of through. I get it, I think, because the job of social workers is kind of like you know, making a very complicated institution accessible to people who might not have access to like all the bureaucratic knowledge and know-how to like navigate it. And that must be like a terrible terrible thing to work at, right? It definitely sounds annoying because your entire job is explaining things to people that you know don't understand it and making it easy. And I guess there's a point in that kind of like line of work where no matter how much you want to be patient, you get tired of being patient. Um, so yeah, you know, in my mind, that's like okay. I understand if you're like maybe tired of this, but you being tired it doesn't mean that I still don't need like attention, right? Or getting through a very complicated thing. And yeah, you know, your condescendence kind of hurts. It's become counterproductive to what I believe you think you should be doing. Ah, and for me, the worst interaction of those has been not directed at me actually, you know, because I guess I can kind of follow instructions. I don't have a problem navigating institutions, but a couple of months ago I went to a hospital because I was like doing like transgender stuff. You know, getting like my stuff studied. And what happened was that when I was waiting in line, I was waiting in line with like a bunch of people who, oh, what's that? Yeah, I was waiting in line with a bunch of people who were just outside the, what's the name? Yeah, the practice and like surgery part of the hospital. And every hour or so while I was waiting, there was this lady that came out and said, okay, I know you're very worried about your relatives, but I need you to shut up. I need you to stay outside. I need you to like be patient with the doctors. If you're not here when we want you to be here, we will make it your problem. And I was like, what? Why are you saying this to people who are like clearly in distress, right? That's so mean. Okay. Rev, let's put an end to the debate. Is it fine to flirt with service workers? Not while they're working, I think. Because they have like a responsibility to be nice to you or to make things easy for you, and if you take advantage of that to like talk to them in like a flirty way, uh, it's compromising, you know, and they will never perceive it as something other than that. I guess in some situations, uh, it could come across well, but like in most situations it won't. And in the situations where it can come across well, it will be so obvious that you know you won't have, um, yeah, you won't perceive it as like a situation where you're questioning, right? You will just know. Ah, oh my God, Krito, hi, welcome. Yeah, my aunt works in the social service in one of the biggest hospitals in Mexico, And she's very nice. I think she has the right personality for that kind of thing. But because I know her personality, I know there are people who don't have the personality for like social service. It's just like a line of work that a lot of people, quite honestly, get like groomed into, not understanding what the job experience is like. And I think that's like the biggest piece of advice I would give to someone when they're going into university is there are a lot of areas of work, you know, a lot of disciplines that for you might be interesting. But being interesting is not as important as you being able to do well at the lifestyle, you know? So when you're picking a job, you're not only picking like a career or something that interests you, you're picking a lifestyle because the work and the line of work will demand of you a lifestyle. It will demand that you stay a long time at a desk or that you extenuate yourself physically or that you expose yourself to substances and a lot of things like that. And your job kind of is well, not your job because it's not your job yet, but your your prerogative should be um, understanding that and understanding if you want a lifestyle, because a lot of things that are really interesting, like scientific research, you know, if you are someone who's like interested in science, you might be interested in scientific research, but you might not be interested in the lifestyle because doing research right now is like spending maybe 3 to 5 years trying to answer like a hyper specific question, and for a lot of people that's not comfortable, right? It's like, wait, I wanted to do like laboratory stuff. I wanted to cure cancer, and then they tell you, nope, you're going to study a single cancer cell and how it develops in like a single part of the body, and you're gonna do that for 5 years. And if you don't get a result or someone publishes before you, you're just kind of done. And you know, uh, yeah, that's like one of the things I could tell you about, like the realities of doing science as work. It's a lot less romantic, you know. The age of the Newtons is over. A lot of what research is right now is like teams of people who are as smart, if not smarter than Newton, trying to solve like hyper specific questions about, uh, you know, specific disciplines, and that demands a lot of patience. And yeah, certainly not romantic, but like what work is really romantic these days? Streamer, I guess. Yeah. Ah, yeah, that's what you should keep in mind, the lifestyle. Because you're not marrying a job, you're marrying a lifestyle. The job can change. The lifestyle, that'll be harder when you start working. And when you need to work, you know, when you're actually finding a job just because you need one and not because you're picking one necessarily, then yeah, that's that's a whole other can of worms. All the kids these days want to be YouTubers. Yeah, that's so true, right? Like I saw like a thing in Japan about what kids were thinking of working on. A lot of the girls wanted to be streamers, specifically work in like Hololive, which is like a VTuber company. Um, a lot of the boys wanted to be Trump. You know, like what do you want to work as when you're older? Trump. Yeah, it's that kind of thing. Yeah, yeah. We should bother to teach people more about lifestyle. You know, like how work is like lifestyle most of the time. But even then, I think it probably wouldn't be like the most exciting thing to put children in, because a lot of them wouldn't want to work if they learned that, what you have to do is to like spend the rest of your life working. Okay, your free trial has expired. It's time to work now. Yeah, that probably makes for like a less exciting career day. 21st century jobs, whole live streamer. Yeah. I mean, if you could have Trump's job, would you? I don't think I would. I guess I would like the money, but I wouldn't like the level of disdain and the tension, because I'm learning about myself over the course of the last few weeks that I'm actually a very shame-driven person. You know, uh, I'm very prone to shame, and well, specific kinds of shame. Generally, I'm very unabashed. If I could get to a position, huh? Okay, yeah. If I could get to a position in my life where I was like, uh, no, where I am like a public speaker, I think I'm not completely driven by shame, but I am driven by shame in like certain important aspects of myself. And what I think is that um, that if I was in a position of like Trump's, who the guy gets like publicly humiliated on like a daily basis, I would not. uh, it would probably. I could do it. I think I could do it. I legitimately think I could do it. But it would do very bad things for me and my mental health, and I would not be like a happy person. I would be like. It would probably inform me and the person that I am in a way that. Uh, yeah, in a way that was very negative. I would become like some version of Trump in the sense that he's driven by avoiding humiliation and a bunch of bad things, of like one upping people, getting revenge. Uh, I don't think that could happen to me as of right now, because I am not a person that's driven by these things. But I don't want to put myself in a position where, I want to find that out, right? Whole live streamer, I think I could do whole live streamer. Yeah. Maybe that's my problem. I was like looking for the boy job. Yeah, I don't want a boy job. Ah, this guy has a lot of endurance. Oof. God damn. Very resistant. What would you do if you were given $10 billion? I'd buy a house for me and my girlfriend, first of all. And then I would probably see how to invest that. You know, I know people who are retired that have a lot of money that, you know, a lot of what they do is save. So I guess I would save half, for rainy day or for whatever. I would pay the taxes of like getting all that money from one go. you know, because yeah, that would be important. And then what else? Two-handed sword talisman. Okay, whatever. And then, with the rest of the money, I honestly would be unsure. I'm not someone who has like a lot of needs. I would probably get a new wardrobe and get, really good physicians for my transition. But I don't think I would do like very exciting things with the money, because once you travel the world and once you like do the cadre of things that you can do as like a person, you would still have like a lot of money. You know, to have $1 million, you would have to make $1 million a year and then work for 1 million years. So if I was making $1 million a year, say $10 million a year, from the day that Jesus was born to today, I would not have $1 billion. So, that amount of money in liquidity is so absurd that I don't think, if I knew how to spend it, I would know how to spend it. I would probably donate it or donate huge bits of it to people who were actually, like doing stuff, who were doing meaningful things with the spending, because I can't possibly spend all that money in a way that makes sense. Ah. Ba, 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 ba. Barnett's gender expectations in 2060. Tate Bear's Instagram model. Yeah. You want to do girl things at the girl factory? I mean, it's not girl thing. It's what what women would prefer to work on in Japan. I don't like the Trump jobs. I don't like the boy jobs. I would need to see the list again. I have it in my computer somewhere, but yeah. I showed it to a Korean friend and we were like laughing about it. We were like, oh, the future is bright for Japan. Things like that. In English, a billion is 1,000 million. Oh, okay. Well, if you were working then from Jesus' time to today, you would have 2 billion. Um, but 2 billion is like not 10 million. 10 million is like a lot more money, right? Hmm. Yeah, like at that point, it's so much money that I wouldn't know. I honestly would not know how to spend it, and the moral and maybe responsible thing would be to give it to people who do know how to spend it. And get out of tax trouble, because I wouldn't want tax trouble. Like, can you imagine that you spend the 10 billion and you still have to get taxed for it? And people are like, okay, now pay the tax. You made like so much money in this year that we have to give you like a 50% tax, and then you have to give us the 5 billion, but you already spent it all. Like, that's crazy. Yeah, I know. But in a world where no taxes exist, which would be like a worse world fundamentally, then what would be like the craziest thing I would do with money if I had a lot of it? Um, like if I could have like a vain desire just to ah, let me think. Uh, you know what? I guess I would give 1 billion to my parents and tell them to like not talk to me again. I would tell them like, please just leave me alone. Like you thought that I owed you things for like raising me. Okay, here's 1 billion money. It's more money that you would have in like normal circumstances. So yeah, leave me be, let me live my life, and yeah, I would probably sign a contract with like a notary public that if you tell me mean things again, I will, I will sue you for the billion or something like that. Yeah. That would be like the pettiest. What else? Yeah, because they're not gonna be happy when I come out as transgender for you. There are also what else would I do? I would huh. I don't know. I guess I would spend it in my neighborhood and my friends. Like my community, immediate community. So they can do the things they want to do. Because I know a lot of them have like health problems and just general issues that they would be better for a lot of things. Money can really help you not have like a bunch of problems that a lot of people would rather not have. So if I could aid my immediate community with that, then that would be good. But the thing is that billions are. It's so much money that I think I wouldn't be done spending it all, even if I had that. You know, it's like crazy. Is there research you would want to do? The worst thing about being a mathematician is that the research you can do is the thing that only requires like thinking and not experiments. So if I can give myself like a bigger ultra brain or something like that, then it would probably be very worthwhile, but I don't think that's possible right now. Yeah, if I could buy like more computer power for my head, then yeah, I would probably become like a better mathematician. But given that that's not possible, it would have to be like medical research. Um, huh, well, the biggest impact. I say impact. Let me tell you what impact is, right? Impact is not like the abstract sense of the word impact that people use to say, like your social contribution, right? Impact in uh, science publication means a very specific thing. It means how much you owe. Oh, yeah. There are science magazines that are rated by a score called impact, and the greater the impact, if you publish in a magazine that has like a lot of impact, then you actually you're like a high demand researcher, let's call it like that, right? uh, and yeah, that's basically what science is. It's kind of like being a YouTuber. If you are publishing on YouTube but your videos get like a lot of views, you're in science that would be like getting a lot of citations, and that's kind of what you want as a scientist. If what you're aiming for is being prolific, it's publishing a lot and getting your publications in like important magazines, because the magazines are kind of like what determine the how much people care about your research. And a lot of people care. There are people who care a lot and people who don't care a lot. If you're publishing in like impact under one magazines, you're like normal to bad. If you're publishing in magazines that are one and above, you're doing very good. Like they're well read. Um, but the highest impact magazine, I think, it's like an American magazine that does cancer research that has an impact of like 700. You know, so I guess I would give money to that magazine. Because it's just kind of what people care about right now. Like, if people are reading about cancer, it's probably because, it's a disease that it doesn't really matter if you have a lot of money or like a very good lifestyle for. You can get it, and once you get it, like, it's, yeah, it can be like life threatening, regardless of what you want to do or try to do to like improve your condition. So yeah, in that sense, it's very fair as a disease, and that's precisely why people like are so intent on curing it, because like everyone can get it, and it's bad if like anyone gets it. So in that case, I guess I would give money to cancer research, specifically to that Impact 7 magazine. Yeah. Uh, Impact 700. Impact 700. Let me correct myself, because if I said to like an Impact 100 magazine that they were like an Impact 7, they would like flip me. Yeah, but sadly they don't work with mathematicians. We're like not interesting to them, and it's all last century was the century of physics, specifically like nuclear physics, And this entry is going to be the century of nanomaterials and biology. So that's going to be like the big subjects, in science. We're going to see a lot of development in in these areas before we see like another thing about space. Because right now that's what people are interested in: bioengineering, some specific forms of medicine, things like that. And yeah, that's kind of where we are in the worldwide science panorama. Would you become mayor then? Like mayor of a town? That'd be nice. But I don't think money gets you major. Makes you major. In my town, what gets you major is like not being like mean enough to the drug cartel. Oh, I think I know where I am. It kills similarly regardless of class. Yeah, that's the thing. So that's what makes it so like I want I won't say important, but like of interest to researchers, because it's kind of like homosexuality in a way, right? Like gay people are gay uh, regardless of whether they're rich or poor or any other particular economic condition or racial condition. And that means that very privileged people in society can be gay, right? And they can exercise that privilege in order to get rights for themselves that go on to empower other people. In the case of like black Americans, for example, it's much harder to get like as many rights as fast as like gay people, because black Americans are as a whole more disenfranchised, right? And you create the situation where there's less of an incentive or less of like a structural base of support for this particular group to get rights, provided they wanted certain rights. And yeah, it's kind of like that. The reason why gay rights have advanced so much while we still have like very pending civil rights issues, it's kind of because of that. Because you know, the gay community can take a lot of advantage from like gay white men, and that has been incredibly helpful. Uh, yeah, like that's actually why pride parades are called pride parades. If you didn't know, like uh, the penalization of homosexuality in the United States began as protests against anti-sodomy laws. So what does that mean? It means that there used to be laws where having like sex for the purposes of like non-reproduction. No, no, no. Sodomy was legally defined as penetration without the purpose of social reproduction, right? So that made it a crime to be a gay man, but it didn't make it a crime, for example, to be a lesbian, right? Because of course. So, yeah, and then you know the reason why pride parades were called pride parades was because uh, that punishment as a crime is very clearly what you might call a shame law, right? It's like a law meant to shame a type of behavior and discourage it through through that act of shaming. Mm, and then you get into a situation where you're shaming people with the law, and the reason is that pride is called pride because pride is so much about being proud of the fact that this is not something I should be ashamed about. Like society is wrong for telling me that I should. And yeah, so the pride parade, the whole phenomenon of pride parades started as like mostly privileged white men who were gay in the United States protesting the fact that their sexuality was being criminalized. And in a way, their protest trickled down rights for other gay minorities. Though it took a lot of time and it was like a very imperfect process, admittedly. Uh huh. Uh huh. What else? Yeah. So I guess cancer research follows in a similar vein. Rich people can die of cancer. In a way, they can't die of like maybe diabetes and hypertension because they have access to like very high quality diets, you know. And for that reason, uh, it's a disease that drives more interest in research because people who have a lot of money maybe can invest in making sure that that doesn't come for them. Whereas if you think of like diabetes, hypertension, obesity, for example, if you're rich enough, you can secure yourself from those kinds of things by procuring a certain lifestyle. Uh, ooh, but yeah, overall, it does come to that kind of thing in research funding. Oh, that's a great thing then. I would I guess I would spend the money in like underfunded research. Yeah, I would spend a lot of money trying to fund the research that doesn't typically get funded in terms of like the main diseases right now. That would be a good thing. Yeah. It would be a smart use of money for like people not to die. Yeah. The non cost effective things. I guess I would lobby Mexico. Yeah, one thing I would do is I would lobby Mexico to make sure they regulate the sugar contents of like food and stuff. Because right now what we have is like labels. We have a system of labels where if a certain piece of food has like too much sugar or too much whatever, right? Saturated fats, we'll put like a black box, a black octagon on the packaging, and that will tell you like, okay, this food has like a lot of this, a lot of that, and you you shouldn't want to eat it. Like you shouldn't eat it if you're trying to like watch for like this specific thing in your diet, right? Um, and I think that's good. It's definitely progress from where we were before, but it's not the best solution because you still give people like the option to do it. Like a lot of people just ignore the label. I think a better thing would be like what we do in France sometimes, which is that instead of having like oh, instead of adding what's the name of this thing? I forget. Yeah, just a single label. You have like a traffic light, and the traffic light tells you if this is green, it's like safe to eat. If this is yellow, it's like maybe not great to eat, and and if it's red, you know that it's like pretty bad. You can buy it, and but even then, what we need to realize is that in France, one thing we do that I like a lot is that we regulate the sugar contents of food. So, for example, if you're an American and you go to France, you will notice that when you drink a soda, the soda will taste more like juice than. Why are there so many insects here? Oh my god! Yeah, the soda tastes like juice because it's meant to be like food, you know. It's regulated out of being like the Fanta that you get into in the in the United States. You can't put like sugar past a certain point, and you can put like things past a certain point, and yeah. So in that sense, it's like really important. It's really important to get that specifically that. Eh? Yeah, so I guess I would lobby so we get that and we regulate the sugar contents of like food. Yeah. Yes, there are limitations to the sugar levels. Yeah. In Mexico, there aren't. You're just warned that, there might be excesses in like certain products. And even then, the warning is not great because it does not tell you excesses on the basis of what. It just tells you, like, oh, this has too much sodium. But like, something that has like uh, 5 milligrams of like extra sodium per 100 grams of food that you might want to eat. Wait, stop, avert your gaze from me. I beg, look away. What? Yeah, something that has like maybe a 5 milligram excess is put in the same ground as something that might have like a 25 milligram excess. And that's crazy because you're not warned. I guess all bad foods are like uh, equally discouraged. But that's a bad thing too because if you for some reason would like to buy something that was maybe a bit saltier, right? Like maybe a bit saltier than 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 usual, you will get like you won't be given the tools to discriminate. You would just be told in like the broadest possible terms, like this goes beyond a certain standard of quality we want to keep. And yeah, it's not the highest quality information, but uh, it's good. It's an improvement from zero. Ah, this is actually a rather complex subject due to all the factors of personal responsibility, freedom, and the health benefits from limitations. It's very much a question where people can differ and still have legitimate concerns. Yeah, yeah, like I want regulations, but I also kind of understand the argument that some Americans make, right? That you know, if you uh, wanted for some reason to be someone who drinks, like, let's say a Coke, right? And you have a lot of self control because that's just kind of like uh, in your skill set, then why should you bear the punishment of someone who has less self control? Like if you are perfectly capable to have like a soda every 5 months, uh, and you like the taste, and for you it's like whatever, you're not going to like yeah, to like make a big deal, or yeah, like you can consume it, then society is like actually restricting your freedoms by telling you not to engage a certain product. So yeah, uh, I think that's a legitimate concern because, like, for example, I am not someone who is like an avid consumer of sugar. Like, I don't consume sugar all that often. But there's like a certain kind of like Kinder chocolate that I do like a lot, and I would be upset if they changed the flavor because there were people who were like too I don't know, too into it, I guess. But I do have I guess in my mind that's a sacrifice I'd be willing to make, but I understand that maybe not everyone would want to make that sacrifice. Yeah, some people believe in anything these days. Yeah. Ah, this enemy is so interesting. It actually has a moveset I can't read. Ooh, what's your favorite Kinder? Bueno is my favorite. I like Delis as well, but I prefer Bueno because when I was in France, when I was like 5 years old, I got a diagnosis for otitis. I don't know if that's how you say it in English, but it's like an ear infection, And then I had like, you know, the doctors were pretty confused because I was arriving from Mexico. They were like very concerned I might have had like another disease. Oh no, it's gonna start a pandemic. Oh. So they gave me a bunch of tests and they treated me in a way that I would describe as borderline racist, honestly. But back then, I guess one thing that my dad did for me, which was very sweet, was that whenever I was getting out of like a blood test, he would take me to like a vending machine, and then he'd buy me like the Kinder Bueno because it was 2 bars, so he could have one and I could have one and we could share. And yeah, that's why it's my favorite. It reminds me of like those good days. And for that reason, you know, I can have it like once every couple of years because, you know, I guess I like keeping the feeling special because when I left the hospital, I just never had the chocolate again until like the next time you know, I sometimes get a craving for it, but I don't, you know, I'm not like a sugar person. I like Bueno Best too. Yay! Yeah. I think Solis is good for more like casual engagement. Yeah. I am a Delice enjoyer, but Bueno remains. Oh my goodness. Bueno remains my favorite. Okay, I'm making a run for here. Brief respite. Oh, okay, so it's like the diagonals of a triangle, I think. Let's see if I can make it here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. Sometimes I have a hard time controlling my sugar cravings. Lucky you. Yeah, you know what I struggle with? Salt. With salt, I have like a problem. Like, I guess my. I don't know. Honestly, since I've been on a HRT, the way I have to eat has changed. You know, my preferences and tastes are not hyper different, but they're evolving in ways that didn't weren't necessarily the case before. And in my mind, yeah, like I'm a much more prevalent eater of salty foods than other kinds of foods. Uh, and that's kind of an issue because my family has a history of hypertension. And I don't know, that's bad. Yeah, so I think, yeah, I've always been like a salt enjoyer, like a very salty foods and things like that. Like, I'll tell you that one of the things for me that made me healthier about going vegetarian is that for me, one of the biggest motivators to eat sugar was eating it in conjunction with very salty food. So that's like burgers or any of the many ways that you have to prepare red meat, which in Mexico there are many. So cutting out uh, meat for me was also a way of cutting out like various type of carbohydrate because I always ate them together because I don't eat you know when I ate uh, like bad you know not bad foods but like things that aren't the healthiest meals on like a regular basis, it was because they were a combination of salt and sweet. And by saying okay, I'm not eating meat, I uh, cut out a lot of uh, the like maybe combinations of like salt and sweet that used to be part of my diet. So yeah. Ooh, an eye. Yes, I remember having heard about some research like that. Yeah, just don't add salt to food when you see to eat. I don't. I don't do that. Uh, I generally eat things that already have salt in them. That's the thing. That's what makes it difficult. You know, like if you're eating sopa maruchan, for example, I guess you know what that is, being Mexican, right? Uh, if you're eating that, then that already has like a lot of salt in it. It's like an instant soup. If you're eating like Chinese food, which I enjoy a lot, uh, you're consuming a lot of soy sometimes. Soy sauces, uh, peppers, and all those together have just like a lot of salt, and they're like that by design, you know. So there's no way around it. You know, there are foods that just have salt, like peppers, and I enjoy peppers. Ah! Ah! Okay, okay, I do need to make a recall here. Ooh, okay, You do love to use your fire tool, don't you? Ah! No. Yeah, that's bad. Ah! But yeah, salt is like my big thing. I don't have like a lot of cravings for sugar. I'm honestly not a big sugar eater, but I am a big salt eater, and that's bad. That's kind of what I'm trying to like make sense of these days. You should not eat maruchan though. It is not as bad if you only have the noodles and don't boil the broth though. Yeah, I think these days I need to find a way to make like my own broth, because yeah, the broth is like the bad part. I heard your screams 4 times. Did the microphone cut? That means it might be too loud. Yeah. Did the microphone cut? Like, if that actually happened, do tell me, by the way, because that means I do need to change the settings. Uh, okay. Let me deal with this guy. But vegetable suck. That taste is like sad though. I make stock with peppers. That. Yeah. Okay, I will look into that. Thank you. Oh yeah, I don't know. Get out the way, no! Ah! Oh my goodness. How does one fight that thing? Okay, and now I have to be really, really, really careful, because I just have the right amount of money to level up again, and if I die once, it's Jover. Okay, no. Okay. Go. No! Okay. Yeah, that like gray bar that's filling in for those who don't know this game as obsessively as I do, it's dead blight. If it fills all the way to the top, you die, like instantly. Yeah, this is a weird type of enemy because it glares at you, and if it glares at you too long, you die. Yeah. Yeah, I need to diversify my cooking. I guess that's the thing that's bad about being vegetarian without like a lot of education about how to do it. That if you just say, okay, I'm not eating meat anymore. Yeah. If you just choose not to eat meat, you might put yourself in a position where you are eating foods that are quite unhealthy because they're like the tastiest thing next to meat, right? So a lot of people go through that stage where they're eating like uh, not as well as they could be eating because they're avoiding the vegetables. You know, they're not yet going plant based. They're just going not meat stuff. Oh, okay. This is good. This works. This works. There we go. Yay! Where's my money though? Okay, there's my money. Is it like cursing? What is? I'm confused. Yeah, no, there's a stage that a lot of vegetarians go through where, uh, yeah, you just don't want to eat vegetables. You want to eat things that taste good, but you don't want to eat meat because you want to like take care of the animals and stuff. Uh, so what you do while you actually kurwa ma. What you do while you're waiting for the point where you can do that is like actually yeah, just eat a lot of cheese, a lot of bread, and those are vegetarian options, right? But they're not great vegetarian options because uh, living off of cheese and bread is like living off of cheese pizza. You know, cheese pizza is technically vegetarian, right? But if you're eating that every day, you're you're having an unhealthier diet than if you just ate meat like a couple of times. Ah. Oh. Okay. Need a clap of Rab shouting kurva. Yeah, you can. Uh, you can clip that if you want. Like, there's a YouTube automatic. There's an integrated clipping tool now. Oh, it's a stone. It's a stone, so I can't attack it. That sucks. Okay, maybe I can bait these guys though. That's a better. Wait. Wait, it's not a stone. It can actually be attacked then. Okay, drink, drink, go. Ah! 1, 2, go. I'm not even sure where I am. I am so lost. Blah, 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 blah. Is this the end? I am so deep in this dungeon. Let me see what I got on myself. Okay. Yeah, no. Fuck this. I am going to use a summon. I'm not. I don't want to die here. A Death Knight. Oh my god! Ah! What the fuck was that? I couldn't even get in the room. What the fuck? That's so unfair. Well, no, I guess it's fair. I guess it's fair because it's an enemy. Yeah, it's an enemy that that punishes you for summoning when you do it as like a first impulse thing. That's 100% fair. I get it. I get it. You should like try to engage the enemy on their own terms a bit, at least. Ah! Wow. Oh, wait, that's Godwin! That's Godwin from the main game. Okay, 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 okay. We're gonna beat him, and when I beat him, I'm ending the session. That's what we're doing. Oh, wait, they're so nice. They're putting it outside every time. That's good. I do, like, no damage to this guy. Ah! Okay. Wait! Wait! Ah! Ah! Oh god. No, it's fair. I think it's fair because if you summon as the first thing you do, that's actually... Oh no, my runes are actually inside now. Well, that's good. It means I'm lasting a bit longer. Okay. He's very quick. Oh. Ah. Ah. Okay, so he can actually like... Oh. Ah, wow. Okay. Okay. I might as well fight him on my own if he is making summoning this difficult. It is fair, just get good in the case of all Souls games, but yes, it can be frustrating. No. What I was saying was fair was that when I entered and my first instinct was to summon, he used a punishing attack. And I believe that's like a fair thing. Because, you know, if an enemy is discouraging... yeah, they're discouraging you from summoning in some way. You know, summoning makes the game easier, like inevitably so. So if you're trying to summon and they put a challenge to like the act of summoning, then that's good. You know, that's that's what I think is fair. Reminds you of the painted world? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, that's what I said was fair. That if I try to summon, he tries to take advantage of the small window of time in which I have to stay quiet to like do that. Ah! I just lost a. The amount of money I lost is insane. Okay, 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 my guy. Now you made it personal. I've been saving this money since I started the session. Yeah, thank you for the stupid gesture, gamer. Okay. Oof. Huh. That's actually like bad for you, I see. Ah. Okay. Ah! Ah! Okay, good. I could have made it, but I didn't. No. I hear your screams for it. Ah, okay, I see. She means she's hearing me scream. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to wake you up. Yeah, she's my roommate. I'm sorry. Okay. No, I figured out his pattern. It's not that bad. I think I just need to, like, actually bother to just, like, dance with the guy. Wide swing. I don't do that much damage to him. Maybe it's because I have the rune where I do more damage, but I take more damage. I think I never fought this boss, really. It's in the Scorpion River Catacombs. He has a lot of delay. I'm not getting his delay yet, but it's not that hard. You know, I can see. I can see how the cookie crumbles with this guy. Okay, wait! Bad, I didn't think. I should have dodged backwards. He's dodging backwards. I'm rolling too much. I think I should use this one as well. It's not my first thought, but it should be. Wow. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. Wow. Shield up. Oh wait, he healed. That sucks. What? That was crazy though, he healed. I see. Let me try to fight him magic only. Let's see how that works. Okay, There we go. Wait, no. Okay, sword. He does have very good punishing. Whoa, wait, wait, wait! Oh, fuck. He's gonna regain. Ah. How does one even dodge that? That's so... That's so mean. I wish I had a grab as well. I think it's kind of unfair that the game doesn't let you have grabs. Well, maybe they do have grabs with their spells, which I'm not using. Because this is a fire character, and I don't think there are fire grabs. Hmm. Okay. Oof. Okay. Okay. I'm starting to get into the rhythm. I think if I could find one moment to summon, I could like actually beat him quite easily. But the thing is that he has a lot of timing restrictions. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Crazy, crazy. Okay. Will this actually work? Yay. Okay, I got him. Oof. Oof. Okay. Ah! Okay. Getting close, getting close. Oh, perfect! Perfect kill! Yeah! Ah, the catharsis. It's not even all that much money. Oh my god. What was this all for? Okay, Godwin. What do you have to say for yourself? Piercing, oh, piercing. Ah, I hate you. Why do you have knights? Well, you're dead. You don't need knights anymore, Godwin. Oh, this is so sad. I wasn't expecting to be killed by this guy and then for his reward to be so garbage. Actually, let's just read before we go what he left us with. Okay, it was a weapon, right? Okay. Order of acquisition. Switch view. A long-hafted golden axe wielded by the dead knight bears a representation of a decayed golden ring, crackles with lightning, the power of the capital's ancient dragon cult. Okay. The knight, once the personal guard of Godwin, was also the protector of the Prince of Death's cadaver's surrogate. Oh, okay. Alright, well, we're here. And here's bears. And here's like Scarlet Rot. And I should probably, make it through here to get here. And then there should be a way to climb the ruins, but I've had enough. Wait, you defeated him? I did. It was not easy, and I lost a lot of money, and I was very close to actually leveling up, but I can't now. So sad, but it's okay. That was one of the enemies I was looking forward to fighting. I found the fight very fair, but I found myself very unfair. I did what I needed to do to win. Just add like another meat shield to put some damage on the guy. Why not? Okay, this place looks like safe enough to call it. Stretch. I stretch now. Okay. Bow. Alright. I want to thank you all for coming. I was doing this to celebrate my birthday. It's also probably going to be one of the last streams with this model. I think I could reuse it because of course I want to reuse it, but there's a new one being made, more congruent with my gender identity and stuff. And yeah, I am excited to finish the game, at least with this one, because I want to give it that like nice send off. And yeah, I thank you all for spending time with me this morning. I'd say morning for me, it's like 10 a.m. I know in Europe it's probably like a lot later. Remember to watch the elections in Georgia if you care about that. Not Georgia, United States, Georgia Caucasus. And yeah, I'll be seeing you all later. Thanks for coming. Bye bye. I am now going to depart because I have another thing to do in a couple of hours. So, bye. I want to close my eyes and say bye.